You and I both know your thumb deserves a break, so stay and listen for a while. This is going to be one of the few times this year that I talk about myself. Around this time last year, I had like a little less than 250,000 followers. Present day, I'm like 17K away from a million. No words. Thank you, to say the very least, okay? I can't celebrate that though. This isn't a yay type of post. We're all here because of the peril that we're seeing politically in America. Actually, scratch that politically word. It's much more than just politics, but obviously it's hard to celebrate an increase in your reach when you analyze the things that I've been speaking out about the past year. 2025 was worse than 2020. When the world stopped, didn't we all look around and go, God damn, like I remember calling my parents or people that were older than me and like asking them like if they had ever seen anything that's fucking crazy in 2020. The answer was no. So after 2020, you think, especially after that motherfucker left the first time, you think that was fucking crazy. Never again. And if we were to look at everything that happened last year alone, what the fuck, people? This is like history. This is like a terrible time, you know? So this isn't am I happy that so many of you are here? Do I want to hit 1 million followers pretty soon? Hell yeah. I'm not mad that the page is this size. I'm concerned because when I first got on this app, it was like pure bullshit. Like just nothing serious, dark humor, toxic bullshit. Like not this, right? And then like in this space, like I don't think I could ever just swap back to whatever my previous niche was or whatever. Like we've been talking about very serious, very real things. And I see y'all. It blows my mind when I see people and they're like, oh yeah, like I'm 20 years old. I'm 17 years old. I watch your page. I stay informed. Thank you for what you do. I'm like that blows my mind. Like I'm not a social person, you know, like I'm not outside a lot. So when I come here and I see all of the interaction, it's interesting to say the least. Thank you all for being here. But I just want us to all understand that this is not some hee ha ha type shit, right? We see the awful stories about the people that ICE has kidnapped, but then we also see the article that says ICE has detained thousands of people. What was that, on a monthly basis? Think about how many stories we don't read about, how many people they have snatched. They've been in these deportation centers. There's a reason why they try to hurry up and send these people to the deportation center in Louisiana. Think about how many people don't get their names in the spotlight. They just get taken, tortured, deported, whatever it may be. That's what I'm trying to hammer home here. Okay? The numbers, the reach and everything, that's great. That's a part of it, right? That's a part of why we do this so passionately, why we pay attention to these awful, depressing things on a daily basis. Like it's not, I take no joy in keeping up with this shit. It weighs on my brain, right? Like there are other things. I could not pay attention. That's the sad part. I could not pay attention, but I'm a human being, so I choose to. But it's not something that I take joy in, right? There's a real problem here, and while it's in America, yes, the grand scale, which I'll talk about later, it's a global issue. I was just researching very briefly the history of slavery in China. I'm trying to see how far back does this slavery thing really go. And I'm researching the history of slavery in China. And one of the things I read is that it was abolished in 1910, but the practice of it stopped in 1949, I believe is what it said. So 39 years between that sheet of paper or whatever the fuck, or like the people deciding that it's done, but then almost 40 years after. How does that relate to us, right? If you are a felon in the United States of America, you can't vote. That's on paper. That's the law. Yet we let one who incited an insurrection and all the other things I could talk about that Donald Trump has done, we let one run for office and take office twice. A lifelong con man. So these rules and shit are on paper. You need congressional approval for this. You can't just send the National Guard wherever the fuck you want. You can't just put in your loyalists like that Laura Boebert motherfucker to go prosecute your political enemy. You can't do this shit. All that's on paper. But the practice of it is what we saw all last year. This problem has been here for a very long time, where we have the rules laid out, defined, taught on paper, but the enforcement of it is nowhere near where it should be, right? That's one of the big things I want people to understand when they come to my page this year, right? There's an issue here in America, right? There's a political peril in America that we have an obligation to stand against, right? But this problem has been present for a very long time. We speak things. We make laws, we make rules that make sense. We say we have morals, we say we have ethics. And then when we see those lines crossed, when we see these things violated or broken, the enforcement is either not there, or the due process that leads to justice takes months, oftentimes years. What is that? We're going to talk more about this more in depth throughout the year. Again, thank you all for being here. Please like, share, comment, all of these. Whatever the fuck. Whatever people say at the end of their videos to do, however you're supposed to close out a video, do that here, okay? I'm not great at this stuff, but what I'm trying to say is, did I ever think that I would be talking about such serious subject matter on a daily basis on a platform with almost 1 million followers? Ever? Fuck no. But around this time last year, I was scrolling on my For You page and I saw a very stupid girl on here talking about how Trump's deportations are no different or better than Obama's, and I just couldn't let that go, right? And then that video got like 4 million views, yada, yada, yada. Wasn't what I got on this app to do, but at a certain level of bullshit, you know, what you want to do, you gotta put a pause on that and deal with this massive mountain of bullshit that we're dealing with right now. So again, thank you all incredibly so much for being here. That's sincere. And let's keep pushing. We cannot have another year like 2025, and the midterms in fucking November cannot be the first W of 2026. We got a lot of work to do, people. Let's get it done.